Cool. So there's a street party happening right over here, and they're like playing, or at least a moment ago they were playing Talking Heads really loud. So if you hear some background noise, that's what it is. I want to talk a little bit about functions, and these are you've already seen them, right? It's something that we're already accustomed with. We can see it right here. There's this thing called setup, and then there's this other thing called draw, and these both have this word in front of them called functions. And a function is really just a block of code that does something at a particular point in time. JavaScript is an event-driven language. That means that everything happens based off of an external event. So setup happens at the event of the program starts, right? And draw happens repeatedly after that. It's actually tied to the draw rate of the browser window. So every time your screen refreshes with a new image, it draws something on screen and this gets triggered, right? So, we've already seen a little bit of other kinds of functions that we can use. So previously we used mouse pressed, I believe, to identify where the mouse was located in like week one, right? There's other things here too, like mouse released. Function mouse released, right? And so this is something that gets called every time that you let go of the mouse, right? So if I, we'll just do a little bit of console log and say release, right? Sweet release. And so if we go back here and we open up our inspector, right? And we look at the console, get rid of the what's new, and we just look at the console. There we go. Now every time I click, oh look, and I let go, it says release, right? Now this can be useful for us if we want to trigger something when we let go of our mouse, right? And so you can demonstrate a little bit of like the funkiness with P5.js, but let's say we want to draw an ellipse at mouse X, mouse Y, 100 pixels, right? So, well, actually, I'll leave this in here so we can see. Draw a circle. CIR. There we go. Spelling, always a challenge. So here we can see now when I click and release this, it says draw a circle, right? But there's no circle being drawn. It's because this gets triggered, but then the draw function immediately overwrites it. So if I were to do something like move the draw, the background, right? Because remember the background erases everything on the screen, right? So if I put that there and then I changed it, now every time I do this, it draws a circle for us. We can do something funky with this, right? We could do that that rectangle thing that I think I showed you all in a previous video, right? So we can say fill 255. Here we can say fill 0. We'll say 10. All right, so it's got a bit of a background opacity, so it's like an opacity, right? And then we can, like an alpha channel, then we can say rect 0, 0 with height. So now it's constantly drawing this like black background, but then when I click, boop, it fades away, right? So now we've got a nice, it's kind of pleasant, right? And it's only happening when I'm letting go of the mouse. So when I first click, move the mouse around and nothing's happening, but then when I let go, that's when it shows up. So there's more examples in the around various built-in events that P5.js has. One of the things that I'm asking you to do this week is to read the interaction page that they've got, the interaction tutorial, mostly so you just get a sense of the kinds of events that are built into the program. In the next video, I'll talk about how we can create our own functions to do things. It's helpful for tidying up code, and it's going to lead us on the path to working with the really exciting stuff around object-oriented programming. So that will be the next video in this series.